Greetings to our respected subscribers and guests of the channel. The prison, known as White Swan, is a special regime correctional colony for life-sentenced inmates. The facility is located in Russia's Perm Krai, in the city of Solikamsk. Approximately 564 staff members work at the correctional facility. The prison complex also includes a specialized basement workshop where around 700 master woodworkers are employed. The institution operates largely on self-sufficiency. Meat, vegetables, and poultry are produced on site. There is also a greenhouse on the territory where greens, cucumbers, and other crops are grown. Cultural development programs are also provided at the federal penitentiary institution White Swan. A women's prison located nearby occasionally sends a satirical theater troupe, a parody folk-style performance group, to the facility to give concerts. In the center of the compound, there is a small Orthodox church which was built by the inmates themselves. The consecration of the church and its icons was performed by a clergyman from Solikamsk. He visits the prison on all major Orthodox holidays. The priest teaches inmates how to pray, conducts baptism rites, and reads the divine liturgy. The name White Swan is unofficial. There are several versions explaining its origin. According to one of them, it comes from the method used to move prisoners around the compound. They walk bent forward at nearly a 90-degree angle with their hands thrown behind their backs. This posture is called the swan pose. The second version is connected to the numerous swan sculptures located throughout the prison grounds. Swans are placed above the entrance to the building where the warden's office is located, as well as on the grating behind which escorted inmates stand facing the wall. Even trash bins are made in the shape of these birds. Both versions seem quite plausible and adequately explain the prison's unofficial name. This correctional facility began operating in 1938. At that time, it primarily held political prisoners, mostly clergy. In 1955, those inmates were transferred to a facility in Mordovia. From that point on, the story of the White Swan Prison, as it is known today, begins. In 1980, a unified cell-type facility, EPTK, was established on the grounds. Within this EPTK, thieves-in-law from across the Soviet Union were subjected to forced re-education. In total, approximately 4,500 inmates passed through the EPTK. Within its walls, about 130 thieves-in-law were stripped of their criminal status, so-called lost their crowns. Since 1999, the White Swan has served exclusively as a prison for life-sentenced inmates. No major structural changes were made to the buildings. From the outset, the facility was designed so that escape would be impossible. Any contact with the outside world was also deliberately excluded. According to statistics, each inmate serving a sentence in the colony accounts for an average of 3 victims. After 10 years of incarceration, inmates may be transferred to less restrictive conditions. They are allowed to receive letters from home, and visits with relatives are permitted.
The White Swan is a prison where inmate life is organized in accordance with international standards. Each cell houses 3 inmates. Cell assignments are made primarily based on psychological compatibility. For this purpose, inmates are evaluated in advance by a professional psychologist. Prisoners are allowed to shower once a week. Outdoor walks are permitted daily for 1 hour. Inmates are taken out to exercise yards located on the roof of the building. During the first years of imprisonment, inmates are prohibited from studying or working. Prisoners under constant surveillance are closely monitored by staff. However, self-education is not forbidden at White Swan. The prison has its own library. In addition, many inmates become religious, undergo baptism, and convert to Orthodox Christianity. Those serving time here are convicted of especially grave crimes: leaders of organized criminal groups, members of armed gangs, rapists, and murderers. Life-sentenced inmates are held under a special regime zone. Maniacs and murderers serve their sentences in 2 wings of the aforementioned EPTK, which once housed thieves in law. Each block of 2 cells contains file cards containing short biographies, criminal articles, and photographs of the inmates. The prison regime is considered one of the harshest among facilities of this type. For example, when an officer opens the observation hatch in the heavy steel cell door, all inmates inside must immediately stand up, face the wall, spread their legs apart, and press their hands against the wall with palms facing outward. They remain in this position until the hatch is closed. When an inmate dies and has relatives on the outside, a telegram notification is sent. Within 3 days, relatives may claim the body or confirm in writing that they will handle the burial themselves. If no response is received, the deceased inmate is buried in the city cemetery. Relatives may later rebury the body if they wish. Many inmates are unable to endure the harsh regime of the colony. The prison's history includes cases of suicide and deaths under unclear circumstances. Upon entering the colony, many inmates behave quietly and calmly, simply awaiting the moment of their death. Since the death penalty has been abolished in the Russian Federation, life imprisonment remains the only way to isolate particularly dangerous criminals. Various criminal elements are held in this special regime colony. Today, White Swan houses some leaders of Chechen militant groups, thieves in law, brutal murderers, and rapists, all those who pose a real threat to society. It is currently believed that escaping from White Swan is impossible. The perimeter of the prison is surrounded by powerful security barriers, barbed wire, and massive fences. In addition, the prison guard service employs more than 50 trained dogs. The staff also has special equipment ready for use in emergency situations. Surveillance cameras are installed around the entire perimeter. Security monitors all living and non-living objects within the colony. Thanks to modern equipment, staff can observe the entire facility. At present, there are approximately 300 life-sentenced inmates in the prison. Given the severity of the regime, the only thing left for them is to come to terms with their fate and wait for death. Thank you for your attention. You are watching the channel The Prison Code Russia. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Good luck to you!